The Hermitage, Andrew Jackson's home for many, many years before, during, and after the presidency. He moved here with his wife Rachel, lived in a small shack in the back for quite a while, and in 3 successive waves built this place, the Hermitage. Behind the Hermitage, out in the garden, Rachel Jackson's garden. She preferred being here, being at home, being in her garden, to the threat of high society in Washington, which she dreaded going to. Of course, she never made it there. She died shortly after the election. Slave quarters. Actually a duplex, believe it or not. Inside a slave cabin at the Hermitage. Fairly typical slave quarters. Perhaps a bit generous on the part of the master. See a ladder there that reaches to a loft, and directly above us would be sleeping quarters. Anywhere from 5 to 10 children in any given slave family. Certainly not luxurious appointments, not compared to what we saw inside the house. Note the bone button she's holding. There are some nails there, some ceramic pieces. All of these most likely passed down from Jackson to his slaves when he was finished with them. Jackson was known as a kind master, allowing his slaves to read, write, keep firearms in their houses for hunting. And they've even found some slates and pencils and whatnot. So we are here at an archaeological dig at the Hermitage, former slave quarters, and looking for stuff like we just saw earlier.
You want to see some other stuff I got in this bag here? I've got a lot of different stuff than what you've had in there.
Oh, that'd be great. For example,
piece of iron slag right there.
Iron slag, did you say?
Yeah, iron slag would be used. We think that possibly Aaron the blacksmith was in here, and this would have been proof that there could have been some type of smelting action going on in one of these 2 areas.
Not allowed, no doubt.
Bone fragments, something like cattle or deer, something of that nature. This here is an interesting one. This is called a pintle. And it would have been something that was like a door hinge. Nowadays it would have gone into the wood like that. And then there would have been an eyelet here that would have allowed it to swivel back and forth.
Right.
Nails and pottery pretty much is all I have left in here, but this was the key find from the family.
Right. Inside one of the slave quarters, looking down at a hidey hole underneath the floor. Could have been a root cellar, could have been a place to hide things that the slaves did not want the white people to know they had. Weapons, things of that sort.
Yeah, we got lots of these little brass trinkets. There's other pieces that we have found that are like clovers, small watch fobs, things like that.
I was really about to flip my screen.
This is the 3rd unique piece we found with a heart symbol on it. So, someone here liked hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the "oh my God" since caused a lot of excitement over here.
Well, yeah, this is it. Everything's coming together. It seems like.
We're at the tomb of Rachel and Andrew Jackson. Rachel to my right, Andrew to my left. He was most remembered as the General Andrew Jackson, not President Jackson. He preferred to be called General, and during his 8 years in Washington went by the title General as often as he could. If you could see the tops of these tombs, you could see a lengthy paragraph chiseled into Rachel's tomb about her benevolence and kindness and pleasantness of heart. Andrew was brokenhearted at her death. Jackson was quite a figure in his time. There is an epoch in American history named for him, the Jacksonian era, the age of Jackson, etc., etc. It was essentially that antebellum period before the Civil War. Jackson was president from 1828 to 1836, and he weathered a nullification crisis in which South Carolina had threatened to secede from the Union. He defied the Supreme Court of the United States, which had ruled that the Cherokee Indians could remain on their lands in Georgia. Jackson challenged John Marshall to uphold that decision, and he led the charge in forcibly removing them. 4,000, of course, died on the Trail of Tears. Enigmatic character, Jackson. He at one point had, during the Creek Indian Wars, had decimated an Indian village, found an infant child there, orphaned, and he decided to adopt the child. At the age of 16, of course, that child died of fever, but Jackson had intended to make him his heir. Jackson also remembered for destroying the Bank of the United States. The Bank of the United States had been commissioned or put together, rather, by Alexander Hamilton shortly after the Revolution, and destroyed by Jackson during his presidency.